In this first video, I'm going to do a deep dive into what it would look like if you just walk into a normal lawyer's office and hire that lawyer to help you with your family matter. In my world, I call this traditional full representation. My name is Laurel, and I'm a family lawyer in Victoria, British Columbia. I'm the owner and founder of Alinea Legal Coaching, which is an exclusively legal coaching-based law firm. Join me in my mission to make 100 YouTube videos about how to navigate your separation and divorce like a pro. Now, most lawyers, not all lawyers, but most, will operate on a fee structure that's called a billable hour. So depending on the level of seniority and where you are, the lawyers will charge different rates. So for example, in Vancouver, a senior lawyer will be charging $500 an hour or more. In Victoria or Duncan, BC, you might have a junior lawyer charging as little as $250 or $225 an hour. Just because you have a more junior lawyer and you're paying less for a billable hour, it does not mean that you're going to end up paying less overall. Remember, junior lawyers are less experienced and therefore need to spend more time researching and working on your file than a more experienced senior lawyer will. So essentially what you get is you end up paying for more hours with a junior lawyer. You might have more attention on your file, but that's because of the less experience. And so a more senior experienced lawyer will be able to get to the same conclusion, but perhaps a bit faster. What that means is anytime a lawyer will do something on your file, they are going to be recording their time. And typically lawyers bill in 6-minute increments. So there's 10 6-minute increments in an hour. So anytime they touch your file, it will come about where you send a message, right? A text message. Well, they've read that text message. That will be at least a one 6-minute increment by reading that text message. So if your lawyer is charging you $500 an hour, that'll be $50 just to read a text message. Be aware of that. Whenever you're reaching out to your lawyer, have a reason and know what you want to accomplish. So retainer is a sum of money that they put into their trust account. So their trust account is an account that they're not able to access those funds until they've done work for you. So it's their collateral. It's to ensure that they get paid for the work that they've done. So your money goes into their trust account. When they render you an invoice, they will pay themselves using that money in that trust account. When you work with a traditional full representation lawyer on a separation or divorce, what you can expect is, even for a low conflict file, you might be looking at a bill for legal services as much as $10,000. If there's any sort of conflict whatsoever, or there's another lawyer, there is a lawyer on the other side, or you and your spouse can't reach an agreement, you could be looking at $20,000, $30,000 to resolve your legal matter. Now, when you bump that conflict up, even just a tiny bit, and maybe there's some court applications filed, you're looking at spending a minimum of $50,000. You're looking at possibly even $100,000 to even move your matter forward. If that made your jaw drop in shock, do know that what it will happen is the lawyer will ask for that initial retainer. So that could be $5,000 or $10,000. And then once they exhaust that, they've sent you an invoice for that. They've paid themselves from it. They'll say, I need now another $10,000. And if your matter ends up going to trial for any sustained period of time, like 10 days or longer, you're looking at having to put a large sum of money, over $100,000 into a lawyer's trust account just to get through the trial and get through the preparations and all that. And certainly that might put you off legal services. That's not an unusual amount of money for lawyers to charge for sustained, long-term, intensive legal efforts. Now, that's when you're looking at the sort of the court end of things. When you're resolving things more through mediation or agreement, then you're perhaps on the lower end of the financial scale. The more collaborative professionals, you might be spending even a little bit higher than the low end. So I'm going to say low end is about $10,000. Now, once you have this relationship with the full representation lawyer, you are giving them a lot of power over your matter and over decisions in your life. So the power dynamic in the relationship goes with the lawyer a little bit up here and you down here. So the lawyer, the knowledgeable one, is being given the instructions by you to go ahead, take care of this on my behalf, and get this sorted out. And so what they will typically do is they're going to be communicating on your behalf. They're going to be discussing things with the other lawyer. You might not always be informed of every single step that the lawyer has taken on your file. And what they will do is they will touch back in with you to get instructions from you when a decision needs to be made. And often when they go to get those instructions from you, it will come with a recommendation as to what you should be telling your lawyer to do to resolve the matter. If you are at odds with what the lawyer thinks is best for you, if you don't agree with them, then you get into a situation where the lawyer might be of the opinion that you're not willing to listen to their advice. And if you're not willing to listen to your lawyer's advice, then the lawyer will likely take the position that the solicitor-client relationship is broken down. And in that case, they will fire you. So in the legal world, a lawyer's reputation is everything, absolutely everything. And most lawyers won't take just any instructions. They want to make sure that they're taking the right instructions to move your matter to the end zone and get it completely squared away in a way that makes them, not only makes you look good, and is a good result for you, but also makes them look good. So it's, in that case, the idea is it's supposed to be a win-win situation. Now, because the lawyer's time is so expensive, precious, they've got other files they're working on, they're not going to be, more often than not, especially the more senior the lawyer is, they're not going to be there holding your hand, educating you, making you feel better emotionally about decisions. They're not going to be taking time to empower you to make decisions on your own. So it does become a situation where, because you have this essentially like a little warrior out front for you, you become more vulnerable because you're less educated. You may be less educated, you might have less information about the various ways to approach a situation. You're kind of trusting your lawyer to give you all the advice that you need and filter out any of the advice that you don't need. So the idea behind it is the lawyer doesn't take the time to teach you, they take the time to do. And so one of the issues that often comes up on files is that lawyers do not communicate with their clients, may not communicate with their clients enough, or their client doesn't understand what's happening, or they don't see any progress being made. And it's not so much that the lawyer has been negligent or not working on the file, it's that they haven't been telling their client about it. Now, this is often done mostly because lawyers are concerned. They do get concerned about not bumping up your retainer, or not retainer, your invoice so much because they spend all this time explaining things to you, when it's not their job to explain things to you unless they need to get instructions from you. And they'll explain things to you insofar as it is necessary for you to be able to make an informed decision. That can be a bit unsettling, I would say, for a lot of clients who are more used to being in this day and age where we educate ourselves online, we do a lot of research, we do like to be informed. And there is a lot of information out there with which you can inform yourself. So that can be quite unsettling to receive, such little information from your lawyer, and perhaps not having regular updates. And some lawyers are going to send you invoices, may have invoices that are not very detailed as to what they've completed, and just have like that fat number at the bottom, for services rendered, 3,500. Law societies do try to crack down on that, but reviewing and responding to correspondence, communication with client, those are things that you might see on there. You'll see time spent, but you might still be left wondering, like, what on earth is a lawyer doing? Now, the last thing I'll say is this: a lawyer is a highly trained professional. And when you're hiring them to work on your legal case, you're asking them to devote their one-on-one attention to you. And so you are funding, their business at that point. And law is an area that requires a lot of tedious, laborious, time-consuming work to be completed. And when you're paying a highly trained professional to complete laborious and time-consuming work, the hours add up very quickly. And so then we get back to that billable hour of $500 an hour, and or $350, whatever may be. And those legal bills get very high, and very quickly. If you're interested in following along, hit like, hit subscribe. In my second video, what I'm going to do is a video on the other services that are available on the market right now if you need legal services, and different ways, instead of assuming that the only way to address your separation and divorce is through this traditional full representation lawyer. There are other ways to get legal advice and legal services that aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg. If you like what you've seen here, please hit subscribe, please follow along, please share this video with any of your friends or family who might be going through a separation and divorce right now. The best way we can help each other is by getting the word out there about other legal services available. And yeah, hit like, hit follow, hit subscribe, do whatever you need to do. Watch my videos and share them with your friends and family. Thanks.